Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for Midday Market Action, Midday Market Update. It's Monday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be here, glad to have you here. Hopefully you had a good weekend, and this is a great way to start off the week. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. We got a lot to talk about this morning, this afternoon, in regards to what's going on in the market, and to help to keep you guys and get you guys ready for the upcoming trading week. So there's no Fed stuff, but there still is recession fears. There's still now growing tension in regards to the debt ceiling. I think that we probably wait till the last moment to get it all worked out. Just as long as it gets worked out, I hate that we have to put the country through all of this garbage to get us all squared away. Just do what you got to do, all right? And nobody wants to be the bad guy, no matter what side of the fence you sit on. No president wants to be the bad guy to try to actually cut spending. And it's something that's been going on for the last 10 years or so. Just no matter who's in the presidency is spending money. There's no getting around it. At some point in time, folks, somebody's got to have the realization that this doesn't work. And so what do we keep doing every year? We keep raising the spending limit and we spend more money. Somebody's got to stop. So it looks like Norman, William, Drew, William, again, two different Williams, William Juergens and William Talbot. VP is here. Marty is here. Reza is here. Hi, David. David Silber, if you've never heard of him. Silber Singles. He's got a couple of searches within the VectorVest software. I'm waiting to see more people hit the alert and get into the room. So make sure you guys move to the front of the room to let the new people, give them some space to come in as well. So again, if you can hear me, by all means, when they raise the debt ceiling, don't be surprised if rates go up again. I don't disagree with that, John. At some point in time, the American government needs to be like the typical citizen in the United States. You got to balance the books. You got to. All right. So I got the people coming in now. The alert must have hit, but all the cookies are in the back. Roger says, Roger, you stay back there, but let everybody else come up to the front. What do you think on AM? Is that a stock? AM, I'm not ready to talk about individual stocks yet. Nesto, I'm doing well. How are you? Wyckoff would refer to what is happening as clustered closes is a dangerous time to enter the market. So I've been saying on more than one occasion that I believe we have more downside before we have upside. I think it gets worse before it gets better. I think that what the Fed has done is affecting the market, and at some point in time, the Fed's going to pause and sit back and say, let's take a look at what's going on, because you do know the raising of the interest rates is a laggard indicator, all right? So at some point in time, he's got to, but we're not at the 2% that he's adamant about getting to, so I think he keeps raising rates for at least another month or two. That's my personal opinion. A lot of people think that he's going to pause right now. We'll see. I'm not the Fed. All I can do is give my 2 cents based upon what I see on paper. All right, so that's what I think. What do you think, the NASDAQ or the Qs? I'll take a look at that. Rivers of Living Water Church. Glad to have you here. They always raise the debt ceiling. I know, King David, they do. But, right now, everybody's putting up a front about, oh, we're not going to move and we're not going to move. At some point in time, somebody's got to move in order to raise the debt ceiling. That's how it works out. All right, we got 145 people in the room. Let's get this up to 300 people. What I need you to do is I need everyone right now to share the live link on your social circles. There's a lot of you that do have a lot of followers on social media. Invite them. All you got to do is invite them. If they stay, that's up to them. If they leave, that's up to them as well. All I need you to do is get them here, because a lot of people need to know, what should I be doing for this week? What industries are moving? What news are moving the markets and moving individual stocks? Where should I be putting my money? So this is why I ask you every week to share the link to get people up into the room. Joey put the link in there. Copy that link. Put it on your social circles, whether it's on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Put it everywhere. All right. Put it everywhere. All right. with that being said, let's talk about what's going on today. A lot of yellow in the color guard. I've been saying as well, just be careful about what you're doing. Be careful about adding to new positions. Be careful about adding new positions just in general. Tighten the stops. Be cautious. A lot of yellow in the color guard just means be cautious. Friday, we had 3 red lights. Again, not a panic day. I never want you guys to ever panic. Never let them see you sweat. All right? You've got a tool. You've got a place where you can come and talk to someone like me to see what's going on and how to best take advantage of it. So Friday, 3 red lights. Today, we rebound, 3 yellow lights. We've got a mixed market. It looks like the Dow is the only index that's down. All of the other major indices are up, but nothing is running gangbusters. What industry is the best investment right now? King David, I am going to say building cement. I think that's one of the best ones. Beverages as well. Is another good industry. So actually, let's take the beverages out. I want you guys to concentrate on 3 main industries right now: building cement, steel, and glass. Why? Because there's going to be a boom of building in the United States as we commit ourselves to bringing more manufacturing back into the United States to help with the supply issue. So it's going to take a long time for that to happen. But while that's going on, those are 3 industries that I want you guys to keep your eyes on: building cement, steel, and glass, because all of these things are going to be needed in this boom that's getting ready to happen. What are your thoughts about Tabcos, BTI? Again, let's take a look at those when I give an opportunity to look at stocks. All right. First thing I want to do is I want to jump into the software and I want to look at the market today. All right. Looks like we had a big gap up today in the market. We pulled back and faded the gap, not totally, but we did. And then we bounced around and then boom, we took off. From a day trading perspective, for anybody who's in our day trading or jockey club, the DTI day trading signal is up and has been up since 1051. Even though the market is pulling itself into a little bit of a channel right now, we still have an up signal. If you're interested in getting into our day trading scenario, the jockey club, you can go to www.vectorvest.com. I don't know what the link is. I think Red Hot. If you go to Red Hot, www.vectorvest.com/Red Hot, I think that will give you a trial for $29 to real time in the Derby. We day trade every day from 9 a.m. till 10:30, and we use a signal. I can't tell you much about it here except for there's the signal called the DTI, the Derby Timing Indicator, and it will give you day trading stocks, day trading ideas. William, glass stocks. I'm going to give you one. I think it's TGS. It's a stock that's on fire. And if you want me, by one of my next live streams, I will have an industry watch list of glass stocks. All right, glass stocks. Somebody's got to remind me before we leave today to do that. I'm going to see what I can do. But TGS is a stock in that space, William, that I want you to keep your eyes on. I like that. Harry says maybe AI will replace Congress. Hold on, I gotta hit that. Hold on. That's kind of funny. You never know, though. You never know. What companies have an upward potential that deal with glass? And again, TGS. There's another one, TGLS maybe as well. But TGS, look at that, David, as a potential stock. There it is. It's TGLS. Thank you, Drew. It's TGLS. TGLS. Keep your eye on that stock. That stock has been hot. It's in that glass industry. And I'm going to see if I can make a watch list of stocks specifically for glass for you. Glass watch list. How about that? And my next watch list. My next live stream will be Wednesday. If you guys are here for that, let's see if I've got a list for that. What's up, Haas? Just took the trial this morning, bought 2 stocks, both are up. Way to go, Tom. I'm telling you, if you guys ever want to have the ability to do a lot of what I'm doing here in the software, 99 cents gets you a trial, 30 days to the VectorVest software, and you can take advantage of it. Go to www.vectorvest.com/YT for YouTube. All right, so intraday, that's today. Yes, it is, Drew. That's why it's on my list. TGLS has good fundamentals in trading. That's why it's on my list, and that's why I want you guys to pay attention to it. Let's move this to a 3-month graph. Let's get a better look. The market was trending down. Looks like right now we're trending sideways, a little bit of a sideways move on the market. So I'll take that. It just tells me the market's having a hard time determining which direction it really wants to go, which takes me back to the yellow, all of the yellow in the color guard. So the VectorVest system doesn't just willy-nilly give out colors. It is incumbent upon what's going on in the market. The market's moving sideways. The market's moving sideways over the last 3 months. All of those yellow lights are telling you, look, up, down, back and forth. This is why you need to be cautious in the market. Glenn, that's why I listen to you, says Drew. Way to go. And I appreciate that. All right. TO is another stock that I've liked. It's been rocking and rolling. We can take a look at that today as well, Gregory. All right. Now, that's what's going on in the market. Let's talk about what some news is moving the market, and we're going to build our watch list of stocks for news. Fed officials weigh, let me change this to here. Fed officials weigh outlook amid tighter credit price pressures. All right, so a lot of people are thinking that the Fed is going to pause on the next meeting. Chicago's Goolsbee says his May FOMC hike vote as a close call. So we'll see. We'll definitely see, but it's in the conversation to pause. How about this? Natural gas hits 2-week highs as lower gas output projected. So for those of you who are looking to play natural gas, you probably want to start looking at Boyle, but Cold, KOLD, has been the stock on the rise when it comes down to natural gas. Next one, this is interesting. How many of you fall into this category? Average age of cars on the U.S. roads hits record high as soaring prices mean people can't afford to replace them. How many of you currently are holding on to your existing car because of car prices right now and inflation? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you are still holding on to your cars? And right now, I've got 2 cars. I got a truck and a car. I'm not thinking about buying anything new, specifically because I have no car payments. All right, so it's more so for that. I don't want a car payment. But how many of you are in the same boat? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you are holding on to your cars? Now, my wife, on the other hand, is looking to buy into another car because she drives a lot. She's ready to flip her car, but she's going to wait a little bit because if she gets another car, it's going to be much higher as far as a car payment. So Drew says he's got a 67 Mustang. You've been holding on for that a long time. Francisco says, I got a 20-year-old car. You know something? If you look at it, it's less expensive to fix your car right now than it is to go buy a new car. And sometimes I gotta take one of the vehicles and it's like, yeah, Glenn, you got to pay $1,400 to get this fixed. Would you rather do that every so often or pay a consistent car payment of $600-700? I would rather fix my car, and I think that this story is right on point. All right, next one. What's ahead for the banks as the dust settles after failures? Interesting that First National reported last week or in the last couple of weeks and did very well. I still think that there's another shoe to fall as far as the regional banks, but we'll see. I'm thinking that maybe some of the bigger banks, and First Citizen is one of them, some of the bigger banks didn't make the same mistakes or were more leveraged in the money that they had on hand than some of the regional banks. So I still think that as the regional banks report, there's still going to be another shoe to fall. How many of you out there are gold buyers? Newmont, here's a big story. Newmont to buy Newcrest for $17.5 billion. You know what's interesting about that is, as I look at that, you remember when companies used to buy companies, hey, this company got bought for $7.2 million. And we're like, man, that's a lot of money. Now when companies are getting taken over, I think because of the higher prices just in general, or for the valuations of many of these companies, they're getting bought for billions of dollars, billions. Now, the next thing I'm looking for is when they get bought for hundreds of billions of dollars. But Newmont is on my list for today. So let's go take a look at adding some stocks to our watch list. As far as the banks, I still am kind of bearish on the banks, so I'm going to put in BNKD. All right, and then my next stock is going to be Newmont for gold. And what is Newmont? Newmont is, I think it's NEM. Yeah, Newmont. All right, we're going to put that into there as well. Gold is a great play. And actually, Jim Penna, not too long ago, did a great video as a special presentation on, going for the gold. And so look at this. Look at Newmont as a gold stock. RT is above 1, but look at the earnings growth. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Let's go to the next story. How about this? Summer travel forecast. Hot and pricey. How many of you are traveling or planning some travel for the summer? Type of 1. If you're staying home and you ain't because prices are too high to travel, type of 2. All right. I'm curious to know. It was a great presentation on the Midas Touch, Edward. It absolutely was. How many of you are traveling this year for the summer, for vacation? How many of you are staying home? Now, when I say travel, that's either driving, RVing, flying, cruising, any of that. How many of you are traveling? I know for the Memorial Day, my wife and I are traveling. I forget where we're going. I think we're going to Tennessee, one of the favorite places I love to do. Activision deal with Microsoft looking very promising. It's going back and forth. It's a UK deal, right? Ramar, I think it's a UK deal. Outer Banks this summer, says Drew. I love the Outer Banks too. I think we're going to Tennessee. We booked. I don't know. I just paid for it. That's all I did. Richard says, recently bought EQX after hearing go for the gold. Again, just got back from Alaska, bought COVID. Randy, I hope you feel better. That sucks. All right, so interesting as I look at this story, road back. Travel sentiment, March 2023 compared to 2022. A lot more people wanting to travel, 37% more people. Travel flights are up 17% and accommodations are up 13%. Here's the other side of it. International tourist arrivals. So people are traveling, but it doesn't seem internationally. And I think a lot of that goes with what Randy said, talking about bringing COVID back. Interesting. Air reservations are dropping, but travel flights are only up 17%. And then accommodations, total bookings are down 61%. So this story tells both sides, good and bad. Very interesting. I think it's going to be a very interesting summer this year. From a travel perspective, let's go put into my watch list Jets. Let's go see what that looks like. JETS, Jets. And then for hotels, let's go put in Hilton. HILT. I'm going to put in Hilton. HLT. All right. On bookings, let's go put in bookings.com. Booking Holdings. I wonder if that's it. BKNG. I'm going to put that in for bookings. Look at that. Let me go view the stock analysis report. Make sure it's the right stock. Provision online travel. Yep. All right, cool. All right, so we're looking at Jets for airline. We're looking at Hilton for hotels. And then we're looking at booking.com for bookings. California beaches dirty as a sewer. Ew. That's why I like, that's just why I like Carolina stuff. Glenn, what about airline stocks? So I just put that, Richard. That was the ticker symbol that I put up was JETS for the airline stocks. Tennessee was great. Smoky Mountains are awesome. Absolutely. We love going to Tennessee. So we try to do it at least once or twice a year. All right, next story. Rivian EV. Why Rivian stock could be the most valuable EV pick. Rivian is starting to look like the best in class in a struggling EV industry. Why is the industry struggling? I think because Tesla started a price war. All right, making Rivian stock a strong buy candidate at its current levels. Another story. Rivian R1T outpaces Tesla Model Y with faster delivery times. So let's go put in Rivian and Tesla. Let's go put in Rivian, RIVN, and TSLA. Now, there's another Tesla story that I'm about to come up on. Something, because they were biting into margin by lowering the prices on the car. They might be changing their tune. Tesla is here. Rivian is at the bottom of the list. I do like that it's undervalued. It's not in an uptrend. It is a sell recommendation, but I'm thinking that they grow their earnings at a clip of 21% with a negative earnings growth rate. They're not making money. I think a lot of the reason why they're not making money is the ability to keep up with demand. But the second story talks about how they are outpacing Tesla. Could this be getting in on the ground floor of Rivian? We'll take a look at that. Isle of Palms in Charleston is my favorite beach. Food is to die for. So Charleston is another place that we try to go to once or twice a year as well. We both love seafood, and Charleston is just an amazing place to be. Keeping in the car realm, Ford says it will reduce costs to boost China business. So Tesla doing a lot of business in China. Ford is trying to go after that. It will reduce costs to boost China business. So we're going to put Ford in there as well. Let's go throw Ford up in there. All right, let's go see where Ford sits in the list. I am going to Charleston this summer. Way to go, John. What to do with NIO? Well, you know something? It's not a news story, but I'll put NIO in here. Let's go see where NIO sits in the list. At the bottom of the list. Edward, does that answer your question? Way overvalued. And no matter what news you see on it, way overvalued, no fundamentally sound. They do have, let's go see, they've got negative earnings. They only grow their earnings at a clip of 5%. Whereas I'm looking at Rivian, they grow it at 21%. Edward, does that make sense in regards to helping you make a decision on which one you would rather have? Oh, how about this? Tesla's at the top of the list as far as EVs, and it's growing at a 33%. So, Edward, love the question. I'm just using the system to answer your question. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm just using the power of a system to help me make a better decision. You want me to add Lucid? I think Lucid, I did a story recently on Lucid. People, seems like if they're going to go for the upper echelon, upper price range of cars, they're looking to buy them at Lucid. I just don't know, in a situation where there's a possible recession, air quotes, I don't know if people are willing to go to the EV space and go to a Lucid. But fundamentally not sound. Another stock that's a sell recommendation. Now, talk about the difference between NIO and Rivian. Rivian's got the sell recommendation. NIO doesn't. But it's higher up the list as far as VST, nonetheless. But Lucid, I don't know. The stories say that people are willing to spend the money on the luxury that Lucid offers. Now, the other side of Lucid's got a car that goes 500 miles on one charge. By far, the furthest range on any EV that's out there. GM is also EV, but not strictly EV. That's why I'm not putting it in the list right now. SGML EV stock. SGML is a lithium stock, Richard. It's a lithium stock. So if I've got an opportunity, I'm going to try very hard to look at some of your stocks today as well. But Judy, good call on Lucid. I'm just not comfortable that people are willing to spend the money, especially when they're cutting back on the luxury-oriented side of Lucid, where they can get the cheaper other EVs. But at the bottom of my list, nonetheless, Judy. All right, what else is in here? There it is. Here's my Tesla story. All that time that I said that Tesla was, was willing to bite into margin, they did it for a short amount of time. Tesla price hike is here. Most EVs to see as much as $1,000 added to its cost. So he was actively going Elon Musk was actively going out to drive the prices down to get a lot of share of inventory, selling inventory. Short term, I said that was going to hurt them. I still like Tesla long term. I think it's a fundamentally sound company. Could this be the turning point for Tesla to start moving back up? And it could be. It definitely could be. I'm not ready to talk about stocks yet, David. All right, so I'm not going to keep answering your questions about individual stocks. I'm going to try very hard to take a look at them. How about that? So you guys it's TGLS. Oh, TSG, says David. And so just let me keep on going. This is a big story. You know me. I love Apple. Apple has a stranglehold on the TSMC 3 nanometer chip supply in 2023. That could be huge for Apple. Hi, Glenn. I'm looking for any nice short ideas. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. For the time being, I'm not ready to go short yet. Well, actually, I'm going to take that back. I would, but the market's in a little bit of a channel right now. I'd be very careful about shorting stocks. Hi, Natasha. I think that this is a big story. How many of you are trading Apple right now? I'm not backing Apple yet, but I'm thinking about it. All right, I'm thinking about it. Jeff says, Glenn, thoughts on market timing? I already talked about that at the beginning of the session. I'm not looking at it as a wedge just quite yet, Jeff, depending on how far back you look by looking at the market timing graph. It is, but it is, actually it is. Actually, it is a wedge, freehand line. No, it's not a wedge. Maybe it is a wedge. There we go. And nonetheless, whether it's a wedge, which is a consolidation pattern, notice that we are in a channel. And Jeff, I talked about that in the beginning. That helps to denote why we've got so much yellow in the color guard right now. Yes, there's a wedge. I'm not sure which way it's going to break, especially, Jeff, overall, we're in a channel. All right, so that's to answer your question, my friend. Let's get back. And I'm thinking about, I like this story. I'm going to put this, I should have not left. I'm going to put that in my list. All right, I'm going to put this in my list, Apple, and let's go see where it sits in the list. Probably towards the top. There it is, right under the banks, the bearish side for the banks. That's probably the bearish side of the banks. There's Apple. Slightly moving down today, fundamentally, not all the way there, but it is a top VST stock. Glenn, what are your thoughts on life? Well, I think that we are blessed to wake up every morning, live the day. When we go to sleep, always remember, tomorrow's never promised to you. And I think that we're here on this planet to do good to other people the best way we can. All right, there we go. Channel, what channel? ESPN, ABC, NBC. It's not that kind of channel, Fireblazer. It's not that kind of channel, Sigh. It's not that kind of channel. All right. A lot of stocks in my list today. Next one. A lot of people want to talk about AI. I told you I would, keep my eyes on it. C3 AI fiscal fourth quarter preliminary results exceed guidance. AI is still a hot space. AI is still a hot space. This has been a hot stock, C3 AI. So I'm going to put that into my list. I think it's just AI. Yep. AI, C3 AI. Where does it fall in the list? AI is on the roll. I'm with you, A Fox. Absolutely. Let's go see where it sits, though. Ooh, look at that. By way of VST, it is below 1. So the news may be hot, but the stock is grossly overvalued. A lot of people perception about it is making them pay a premium to own it, as you can see. Fundamentally not sound yet. Fundamentally not sound. Let's go move over a little bit. Where are they as far as earnings? Growth rate growing at 15%, negative earnings. So it is a story. I still like the space, but I think that more and more people just need to come on board with it. And, there's a downside to it. It's taking jobs away from people. And will it replace, will it self-learn? Will it take over the world? I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's get into my last couple of stories that I have. T-Mobile, how many of you have been on a cruise and it sucks to get internet? Type of 1. I recently was on a cruise with my wife on Norwegian, and you got to pay like a lot, like it was like $175 to get the internet for the 7 days that we were on. And it was, my wife did it because she was still doing schoolwork while she was on the cruise. I, on the other hand, didn't, and it sucks. And it sucks bad. All right, so T-Mobile has good news for Royal Caribbean, Carnival passengers, also Norwegian. This is a developing story. The wireless carrier has a surprising offer that's also good for MSC, Norwegian Cruise Line. So I want to keep my eyes on this, especially for those people that travel. And again, I think we're at a point. That was my first cruise. I think we're going to do a cruise a year. We're going to do at least one cruise a year. Ooh-wee. All right, is VectorVest in premium six? So Mark, if you're talking about the mobile app. We do have a premium mobile app, and on Fridays, I do a live stream from 12 to about 12:45 on the utilization of the premium on the mobile. And if you have, I think, I don't know if there's a desktop premium. I don't know if Boston is here or not. I'm not sure. T-Mobile Wireless. What about, yeah. Anyway, next thing. So hopefully that answers your question, Mark. And next to last story, this week's earnings are primarily about retail. All right. And with that, what did I need to do? I needed to add T-Mobile. I needed to add T-Mobile to the list. Alt-tab, which is T-Mus. T-Mobile, let's see where it sits. So the story is coming out, especially for cruisers. Look at that. It's got a VST of 1.25. I do like it, and it's undervalued, fundamentally sound. That could be adding to the upward mobility of T-Mobile. Haha. All right. And again, I'll wait on the stocks that are coming in. And my last story is going to be, again, on earnings. A lot of retail coming in today. Let's go. Home Depot, Starbucks, that's a shipper. TJ Maxx, Target, Jack in the Box, Walmart, Canadian Solar for those Canadians out there. Cavco, Flowers.com, John Deere, Foot Locker. So there's a lot of companies that are retail that will be reporting this week. I'm not going to put all those stocks in there. All right, let's get back into the system. Here's the stocks that made the stories. Based upon that, keep your eyes on the bank side of it. And I want to check something real quick. This should be the bearish side of it. Yep, this is the inverse. And notice that it's the number one by VST in the list. Keep your eyes on that. So as far as stock picks for the week, where would I put my money? I like T-Mobile. I sort of like Apple, but I like Apple from the standpoint of having had, sort of kind of cornered the market on TSMC, which is the biggest chip manufacturer out there as far as their chip. That could be big for Apple. That could be really, really, really big for Apple. Tesla, of course, I do like long-term, a little bit down today. Booking.com, so talking about travel, Booking.com, fundamentally sound, CI above 1, Hilton, CI below 1. So even though people are booking, Hilton, maybe look at Marriott. There's other different hotels to look at. Jets, what are they doing? Fairly valued. Oh, actually, that is an ETF, right? RT below 1. Not sure. Newmont Gold, being gold, way overvalued though, not fundamentally sound. I think the news that, a lot of people are jumping on gold, pulling the industry up. So RT on the stock is up. Rivian, Ford, Neo, Lucid. If I'm looking at any one of these to get into, man, it would be Tesla. Right now, it would still be Tesla. That's the big boy. Someone said what to do with Neo, way overvalued. It's not worth it in my mind right now. I'd rather have you in Tesla, maybe even in Rivian. It is undervalued. It is a sell recommendation, and that's because RT is below 1. But it does have good upside potential. And if I look at Lucid, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. It's not fundamentally sound, not in an uptrend, and it's a sell. All right, and it's a sell. I had better cell phone reception in 1990 than I do now with T-Mobile. I know, Ron, that kind of sucks too. Is the CI only available on desktop, or can you see it on iOS? I believe on iOS. Listen, Matthew, if you're there Friday, ask me then. I believe CI can be shown. I believe it can when you look at a full stock analysis. CI, all of the technical, all of the indicators can be shown in the mobile app. But yes, I do believe that is the case. You can see it there. All right, so these are all of my stocks to take a look at. If I'm going to be looking at a stock pick for this week based on the news, I'd look at the stocks that have a VST above 1. Does that make sense to everybody? Type a yes or a no. Does that make sense to everybody? So these are all stocks that made the news. If I'm looking at picks for this week, I'm looking at the stocks that have a VST above 1 as my possible picks for this week. I'd be very careful with all of the VSTs below 1. They may have made the news. There could be the buzz behind them. But if the system is telling you beware, then I'm going to tell you guys to beware as well. Just beware. All right. So earnings this week, we took a look. I think that we all know that it's going to be a lot of retail. We'll keep our eyes on that stuff. Let's go look at where the money is going to. Let's see where the money's going today. So I've got a lot of ETFs that look at the full gambit of what's going on in the market. Let's go see where the money's going. I'm going to sort by percent price change. I bet you it's natural gas. Yep, there it is. Oil is on the move today. All right, we saw the story about natural gas, and bingo, look at that. Oil is up almost 5% today. UNG is up 3.3% today. Lithium is up, so commodities are up today. Lithium, copper, and oil. Look at that. Oil, gold, GIS, GDX. Man, so that's what's going on today. This is where you can keep your eyes on. SGML falls into that lithium space. Again, right now, nice move today. Let's go take a look at that, though. Let's look at the stock graph of that commodity over the last 3 months. Am I happy? Look at that. I do like the lithium play. There's my stop. I love that. It didn't get below and close below, rising up, back in a little bit of a channel. Nice update today. RT just went above 1, so SGML might be playing a role. If the industry is moving up, SGML might be a nice play. Let's take a look at copper real quick. Again, with all of the building that's going on or getting ready to happen, that's my 4th industry to keep your eyes on. Sorry about that. So I'm looking at building cement. I'm looking at steel, I'm looking at glass, and then I also want you to look at copper. 4 industries I need you guys to keep your eyes on. 4 industries I need you guys to keep your eyes on. All right, copper, look at that nice bounce up today, gapped up, very little wick at the top. So my copper plays might be a good place. So I do like to look at, when we do a live stream, what industries are on the rise right now. Where to stay away from, healthcare, consumer staples. Somebody wanted me to look at XLRE. That's an industry that I do not want to be in today. It's down about 0.3%. Let's go view the graph of that. That's looking at energy. Put it on a 3-month graph. Look at that. Energy is moving sideways. Energy is moving sideways. So for whoever wanted me to take a look at XLRE, there it is. A nice channel. So what does that mean? Not too good, not too bad. If you're in it, I would see at this level of support sitting at 36.30 to be careful with that. But XLRE channel, that's all I got to say about that. FCX for copper, absolutely Remore. And again, I do like the copper play right now. So here's the major industries or major spaces. This is sort of like my own heat map of what's moving and not moving. All right, and a lot of nice movement today. MPI, I think this week, I believe we decided Friday, I'm going to do a video on something called the near perfect indicator, which is the MPI. But I do provide for you every so often the 1 and 3 day winners of the MPI, near perfect indicator. All I'm going to say is that these stocks meet the criteria. If you want to learn more about the NPI or near perfect indicator and how to trade it, don't forget to watch Friday's video. Friday's video is going to take you in depth on how this unique technique can be used to find you great stocks. All right, so near perfect indicator, 1 day crossing. Let's go change to the MPI, put this on a 1 month. It's the 5 is crossing the 40. And again, don't ask questions about this. All right, don't ask questions about this because I'm going to do a more in-depth video on it for Friday's video. From a technical perspective, this stock CAAS is moving, but I'm not liking the 5 and the 40 on the stop price. And same thing with flowers right now. The 5 from a technical version is moving, but I don't like the non-crossing of the moving averages on price. Let's go look at the 3 day. All right, let's go look at the 3 day. And I just wanted to show this today because I wanted to get you guys ready for Friday's video. So 3 month, look at that. I like that much better. bottom left, top right. LMB, this is more for the swing trader. The 5 is above the 40 on price. The 5 went above the 40 on RT. I like that stock. I cannot lie. This one, NAPCO, leveling out. The 5 is not above the 40 here, but it is above the 40 technically. On RT, ooh, I do like AMPH. Look at that. I like that move. I like the move on ONTO as well. So a lot of you who are out there who are users of the software that use the MPI, you'll see them. It does work. It definitely does work. All right. Contras, always keep that in mind, especially with a sideways moving market. My top contras for the week for you to keep your eyes on. Ooh, well, not for the week, for today especially. Ravi, are you here? DRV is up today on real estate. That's a bearish on real estate. This is something that I do want to keep your eyes on. Tonight's video is going to be on my top 5 stocks for the week. Don't forget to watch that. My top 5 stocks for the week. SVIX is on that list, also with 4 other stocks. If you want to get ready for the week, don't forget tonight's 6 p.m. video, all right? But not all contras are working today. The market's moving higher. That makes sense. My weekly picks for you, let me point those out. I always try to point out really good stocks that are doing really well, fundamentally sound, that have high CIs, double-digit earnings growth. These are my top 5 stocks for you this week. We're going to put these on a 6-month graph, and I'm going to simply put this on VectorVest Simple. I'll keep on earnings per share. SMCI, bottom left, top right, fundamentally sound. The stock is leveling out right now. If I'm thinking about getting into this stock, this is what I'd be looking for. I'd be looking for it to take out the 3-month high of about 143.36. Next one, wow, look at that. Decker Outdoors, just a beautiful graph. I'd look to see it take out that 3-month high of 503.05. Love the earnings per share. Next stock, CVCO, definitely moving down, a little bit of a channel. A little bit of a wedge right here. Let's go check that out. A little bit of a wedge right here. But if history holds, bottom left, top right, stock has not been a sell in the last 6 months. Love the earnings per share. Keep your eyes on it. I wouldn't buy that right now. I'd like to see it break out of the wedge. ACLS coming off of the stop price, moving back up. Nice open candle. Love the earnings per share. RT now back above 1. I like that stock for you this week. And VRTX. I'm not a big fan of the earnings, but it's probably some news on a drug in the pipeline that's moving it up. I'd like to see it take out this 3-month high of 354.09. All right, so those are my stock picks for you this week. My phase 3 drugs, someone asked me about that. I subscribe to a website called, let me see, biopharmaceutical something. Research, where is it? Where is it? This is it right here. This is a website that I subscribe to called Biopharm Catalyst. All right, that's where I find these stocks, and I can do a scan somehow. I can do a scan, database and screener. There it is. I can do a scan. I don't want this, but I want to look for phase 3 stocks. Phase 3 stocks. And boom, there it is. And I look for the lower dollar stocks to get in early. And it gives me some data about what's going on. So for the person that asked me about this is how I find my phase 3 stocks. I don't want expensive stocks. I'm looking for stocks, preferably $20 or lower. I like looking at the equity curves over the last X amount of time and look at what's going on. But these are all phase 3 stocks. These are all was that you, Reza, that asked? Oh, no. Or was that Joey answering a question for Reza? But someone in the comments in one of the videos wanted to know about how I found my phase 3 stocks. This is the site that I subscribe to for you guys. All right. So I'm not typing in Purple Kush, Drew. No. That sounds like weed. I'm not typing that. No. All right. So that's how I find them. Let's do this. Let's go see what they did last week. I gave you some stocks from last week. Let's see how they fared. Let's see how they fared. All right. Go back 1 week to last Monday. So this was my list for you. Let's quick test them. Did we make any money? Hey, we did. We made 1%. Any stocks go up? Wow, SYRS. Now, keep in mind that all of the stocks that I gave you had some kind of phase 3 catalyst. 23% in a week. Not bad, huh? 12% in a week. But on the other side, ARQT lost 26%. That was the biggest loser. Notice that the other losers for the week weren't catastrophic. So not that bad as a list. All right? Not that bad as a list. Siberia says, Glenn, a few days ago, I updated my Google alerts with phase 3 stocks. Worked great. Talking about that, huh? We got minds that work a lot alike. Where's that at? Right, my Google alerts right there. So here's all of my Google alerts. I got a lot of them. But I didn't put phase 3 stocks. As you can see, this is some of the research that I do. I got a lot of alerts in here. But you know something, that's not bad. Put in here phase 3. I didn't think about it from that perspective, Siberia. Phase 3 stocks. Boom. That's not a bad way to go. Look at that. HTIT completes phase 3 trials of oral insulin in China. How about that, Siberia? Great minds think alike. I'm going to create that. Alert. Phase 3 stocks. All right. Great minds think alike. All right. With that all being said, let me give you your new stocks for this week. Here they are. Take a picture, whatever you need to do. But remember, all of these stocks have some kind of phase 3. So we'll keep our eyes on this. We'll take a look and see how they did over by the time we get there. All right. Shorts. You want to find something to short Dr. Vic? If you're a subscriber to the VectorVest system, Dr. Vic, we've already got searches short to keep your eyes on. One of the best ones to take a look at would be right here, Ballistic New High Short. It's probably the only one I'm going to run. But we've got a whole listing of shorts. This is one of my favorites. These are stocks to consider for selling short. Actually, I need to bump up the price because I would rather to have stocks that are at least greater than $10 if I'm going to short, right? I needed to do that. There we go. Stocks greater than 10, but this is probably the best way I would go. Now, this stock, wow, nicely went up. Could be one of the first stocks to move back down if the market moves back down. But here's your list of stocks, Dr. Vic. And I just ran that for you. All right, last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look at some of your stocks. I'm going to take a look at 10. Type them in the room. This is when I told you I would let you know when I was going to do this. This is the time, not before I ask. So here we go. DGII 1, NGMS 2, GSIT 3, ASTT 4, ASTT no, GoEv makes 4, REL makes 5, BLDR makes 6, ASRT makes 7, ALB makes 8, BTI makes 9, and MO makes 10. There we go. I got them. I'm going to put another one because Aviad, I should only have taken one from you. All right? I should have only taken one from you. All right? That gives more people an opportunity to put them in there. All right. So there we go. I got 11 stocks. So based upon, I really do want to look at this one. So that was a personal preference. I did want to look at this one. All right. So now, based upon all of the stocks, this is a reason why I want this kind of stock. This stock is still on the move, fundamentally sound. Let's go do this. View the stocks in that industry group. This is in stocks building. BLDR is in there as well. I'm going to see if I can specifically sift through this list to find glass-related stocks. I wrote this down. I'm going to try to create a glass-related watch list. All right, I'm going to try, but TGLS in that space, BLDR, both of those in the building. I'm telling you, hot industry, hot industry, hot industry. Let's go look at TO is in computer systems. This is another one of my stocks that's on my list tonight as my top 5 for the picks for the week. Drug ethical. You want to know why? You need to watch tonight's video. Neo Games Leisure. Nicely, you guys did a good job of diversifying. But out of all of the stocks that you gave, here's another EV stock at the bottom of the list, folks, and a sell recommendation. These two are in the same industry, which are the personal tobacco. As far as VST, it is above 1. Out of the 12 stocks, we've got 10 that have VSTs above 1. The 2 that do not are BTI and GoEv. Fundamentally sound. Which stocks have the best upside? ALB. I like that. I like that. Let's go look at what industry that's in. Chemical specialty. It's got the highest upside, followed by REL, TGLS, DGIR. I'm telling you, I like this stock. You want to know why? Make sure you watch tonight's video. Which stocks go up more than they go down? There it is. CI, TGLS, ASRT, TO. Look at that. All of these stocks that have a comfort index above 1. I love that. Is there a such thing as an industry group of drug unethical? That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Which are the stocks that are moving up the fastest? Wow, NGMS. All right, but not fundamentally sound. This is more of a trade. Whoever gave me NGMS, this is more of a trade. I do like the earnings growth, though. I do like the earnings growth. It's got a VST of 1.3. Let's take a look at that graph. Let's go take a look at that graph. This is probably news driven. Put this on a 3-month graph. Yeah, that's news driven. Was that earnings? Was that earnings? Yep, it was earned. Now, I'm not sure I like that. So the cool thing about it, we see the gap up. All right, we see the gap up, but as a subscriber to the VectorVest software, I know it's got no fundamentals. I know it's got no fundamentals. That's news driven. I do like the earnings growth though, but that's news driven. Let's sort these by VST and let's finish up by looking at the graphs of all of these. So you know where they all sit. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. TGLS, I'm telling you, keep your eye on this stock. All right, keep your eye on it. Love the earnings per share. Keep your eyes on this stock. Builder, keep your eye. Fast-moving industry, the building industry, but really I want you to concentrate on building cement. But I don't think you can go wrong right now with anything dealing with building. All right, let's go to the next stock, ASRT. A little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a shooting star pattern with follow through, but today's bar, a lot of wick at the bottom. Could be some buying pressure. RT is moving. Earnings per share looks good. Overall, if you're in it, I would stay in it. All right. Wow. TO is rocking. A little bit of a doji cross right now, but look at that equity curve. I like it. I like that stock, but I'd like to see it take out the most recent high if I'm not already in it. I told you about NGMS. It's got the VST above 1, but I'm not feeling that's news driven. That's news driven. Let's go. Wow. GSIT semiconductor. I'm thinking that was news driven for some reason as well. Let's go peep out the news on that real quick. That was news driven. Surges 212% this week, taking 1-year gains to 63%. All right. GSIT, fundamentally not sound, way overvalued. Earnings growth negative. Who gave me GSIT? Who gave me GSIT? That's a momentum play. That's a momentum play. Now, if you're thinking about getting into it, I'd be careful. Let me finish looking at these graphs. I'd be careful. Right-click, view the stock graph. I'd be very careful. GSIT, 3-month. That's parabolic. So Charbel, I'd be careful with it. It is enough to push it into a buy recommendation. I like that. But man, look at the non-movement all of this time. Most recent movement. That's abnormal stuff. Probably way outside of its normal trading. Something tells me it's going to have a big pullback. A lot of people made a lot of money. Let's think about this. 2 days ago, 2 days ago, the stock's price was trading at $1.64. Look at where it's trading now. Charbel, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of profit taken on this. So just be careful with it, unless the news about it just was enough to keep it moving. That's parabolic for 2 days. Does that make sense, Charbel? That's all I got to say about that. Fundamentally, it ain't there. All right, DGII coming off of a little bit of a low here. Earnings started to grow back up. RT just getting back above 1, getting close to above 1. Let's go see if this stock can take out its most recent swing high right about here before I jump on board. All right, let's go see that. Next one, wow, I like ALB. Look at that nice movement. Got from a sell to a hold. Nice open candle. Nice open candle, no wick. I'd keep my eye on it after it formed a nice little level of support. Now breaking up, went from a sell to a hold. I like that a little bit. All right, but fundamentally, I don't think it was all there. REL, electric parts distributing, I'd like to see it get above at least the stop. I like that the stop is rising. That means fundamentally it could be coming along, but I'd like to see it take out that level of the stop first. Analysts on Fox Business News early Friday gave a buy on GSIT. GSIT. Does anybody feel, I see the buy. We got a buy. Does anybody feel comfortable with jumping on board with GSIT right now? Type a 1 in the room if you do. Type a 2 if you're not comfortable yet. Type a 1 if you're comfortable. We got a buy recommendation on it, Steve. Yes, it met the criteria to be a buy. But if I look at this, I'm not comfortable yet. The buy is there, but I'm giving you insight behind that buy. I'm not ready yet. Steve, you're the only one. How does that happen, Steve? You're the only one. I'm just, oh, there it is. Kenny is on there too. Kenny's on there too. I'm with you, Ramor. I need more information. And I think that 2 days close to where it is right now, that there's definitely going to be profit taken. Somebody's made a lot of money. They wanted to be greedy and see just how high up it can go. They're going to start taking profits. That's my opinion on it. All right. Altria, the stop is falling. I'm not feeling that. I'm looking at the red flags. Earnings is falling. RT went below 1. If you're in it, I would think about taking half off the table, if not all. BTI, I like the bounce, but a closed candle, not yet. Not yet. And again, I'm going beyond the news. GoEv, below the stop. There's nothing telling me it's okay yet. There's nothing telling me it's okay yet. All right. So, and that's it. I'm done. That was a lot. I covered a lot in just under an hour. You guys kept this at about 160 people. I wanted to get us to 300. We didn't quite get here. But a lot of good insight on the stocks that you wanted, a lot of insight on stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on. Remember, what were the 4 industries I want you to keep your eyes on this week? Type them in the room. What were the 4 industries that I want you to keep your eyes on in the room? Type them in the room before we go. All right, while you're typing them into the room, we got about 71 likes. You know me, I like to try to get us to at least 100 likes. What that does for me is at least tells me that it was worth your time to stop by today. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit the like button. For those of you who did share the content out on your social circles, thank you for doing that. All right, so concrete, steel, glass, copper. You got them. There they are. Way to go, folks. I want you to keep your eyes on those. And remember, on a weekly basis, we're going to be looking at those phase 3 stocks to see if any of you had an opportunity to make some money on those. All right, I got to go. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, tonight's video at 6 p.m. is my 5 stocks for you for this week. If you like that content, you need to tell me that in the comments if you'd like to see that on Mondays. If you'd like to see me continue bringing you my top 5 picks for the week as a way to set your week off right. So not here, in the comments, let me know in the video. And if you like the video, hit the like as well. If you're brand new to the channel and you like being here today, hit the subscribe button hit the bell icon. With that, folks, I've got to go. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bon dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya.